Hello. We are starting now. We are starting now. Yeah, we are starting now. We are starting now. Oh, so we cannot hear anything right now. Yeah? Okay. Uh, okay, what I will do, look, I'll connect with my phone. I'll connect with my phone. Yeah, I'll connect with my phone. So what?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sirs and mass. Yeah, we are happy to have you here, and we are sorry for the delay due to some control. Bishop Lips are here already. Yeah, you're welcome. Our teachers from Bishop Lips Academy, we're happy to have you. We still have some spaces at the front. You can come forward. You're welcome, Mr. Allen. You're welcome, Mr. Rumo. Welcome. Huh? Okay, it's not compulsory to stand up. Can someone volunteer to give us a
In the name of Allah, Almighty Allah, the Lord of the universe. It is He alone worship, and it is to He alone wants assistance. I ask you to guide us to the right path, the path of those who are shown the favor upon, not of those who have gone astray. Amen. Oh Allah, nothing is easy except that which you make easy. I ask you to make everything we are going to do here today, to make it easy. Amen. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amen.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Mr. Anthem is we'll come with Mr. Anthem. So we are here to, this is induction ceremony for our volunteers, and we have a few things to do today, which we are going to work with at time. We have some of our volunteers here, while some will be joining us before the end, so we can meet them. Also, the chairperson of Christian Foundation will be joining us today, and she will be doing some of the talking, and she will be addressing us on some issues. And we've seen that there are some misconceptions about the foundation, which we are going to make everybody understand what is on ground, what is on the line, and how the activity works. Is actually, I can say that it's beyond what we are looking at, and some things has to be put in place. So on behalf of myself, the Christian executive team, the board members, and the volunteers, all the stakeholders, I welcome every one of you to this program once again. And I hope that the time you spend here will be worthwhile. Of course, we are here to make impact. It's for the students, to build a future for them. I know it's your time and you're still giving it. We appreciate your efforts, all you've been doing, all you are doing, and all you will do for Crystal Foundation. Thank you very much. Sorry, what the, I thought she's online and she's connected already. So waiting for the chairperson.
Hi, yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, Miss Veronica. Thank you so much, Saz and Mas. And thank you for all that you do. And thank you for your time, your investment, and all that you've been doing for us at Christad Foundation. So I just want to give us a quick, like an overview, and just to remind us what we are trying to be doing at Christad Foundation. So basically, this is just, I'm not sure if you can see my, the slides. Is a slide showing?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And am I audible enough? Off as well? Okay, thank you so much. God bless you. So my name is Oluwakemi. Just a bit of introduction. So myself, I did study mathematics as a university student. And at the time I was studying my math, it was a bit of, I wasn't clear of the usefulness of the things I was learning, particularly there is a course we call abstract algebra. It was so very funny to us. I remember some of my colleagues were asked so many questions about what's the importance of all this and the likes. But then moving forward, I've had opportunities to do things beyond the traditional maths that we sort of do in class. And to the glory of God, really, I've done quite a number of things not outside of mathematics, but I've used my mathematics, for example, in finance. And I've just concluded my PhD in economics. And that's because I did a math degree and it made it easy for me. I mean, God helped me and that was it. So the intention for, with Christad Foundation is just to also let people know as early as while they are in secondary school, to know that, you know what, maths is fun, maths can be fun, you can get to anywhere. Like I said to you, I did a PhD in economics with a mathematics background. I didn't do economics in my undergraduate. I didn't even do economics in my master's. I did finance in my master's, but yet I succeeded in my economics doctoral program. But before that time, at the time I was an undergraduate student, I had no knowledge of all these things. But the funny thing is that none of my colleagues that had the economics background, say, for example, when they were doing undergraduate, could say that they want to go and do a PhD in mathematics. That's not possible. But then here is someone who has a mathematics background who could go to do something in finance. I've got a couple of my friends doing something even in climate change. Currently, as I speak to you, there's a colleague of mine, his name is Tosin Babashola. He's in Germany, he's doing a program where a lot of people in math in different fields are there. So this is just so we want to spur the interest of our secondary school students and also to motivate secondary university students who are already in the university. So this is our structure here at Christad Foundation. We've got the board members. There are just 7 number of people. They're more there for sort of strategic leadership in terms of formal registration and the likes. We've got the executive members. These are the people which consist of university lecturers, researchers, practicing teachers. They are the ones who design the program, curriculum for the foundation, and then they work on the field. Like you see Miss Veronica there, she's the regional coordinator. You see Mr. Dami there, is our, I don't even know, he's everything to everybody. Like he's the operational person, he sees to every affairs of the foundation. And then we've got volunteers. Now, when we say volunteers now, the reason why we use the word volunteer is just to say that, you know, these are the people who have dedicated their own time, right, to help humanity. Apparently, all of us, even at Christad Foundation, we are volunteers, but just putting things in context, you, our teachers, out of your normal school job, you have, you know, volunteered to help Christad Foundation. That's why you are part of the arm here. And we have undergraduate students and the graduate students who will be supporting our teachers in things. And then we have the secondary school students. So the secondary school students are the main beneficiary of the things that we do in Crystal Foundation. However, teachers tend to be, there is other program for teachers. Currently, there is an ongoing training that we do that is being done monthly that we are collaborating with some STEM-oriented, I don't want to use the word company, organization. And then there is a provision for some teacher training, like in-house teachers training. I don't want to talk about the teachers thing in details here because I don't want to sound somehow, but I think we do have that meeting. We have our own teams and we have our own group to discuss. For the undergraduate students, they benefit from our mentorship scheme. Some of them, because we have 2 sets of volunteers. The old set of volunteers, recently we enrolled them in an IT course where we paid for the course, a certificate course, where they've developed some skills in programming. And we've got new volunteers, so there's going to be a lot for them. Some of them that want to work, go to academia, or they want to probably go to the industry. There are platforms that we are putting in place to help them to achieve these aims. Now, quickly, just so that I don't take much of our time, just to ask, do we have any question right now from what I've said before I talk about our activities and before I hand over to the team on ground? Mr. Dami, Ms. Veronica, do we have any questions being raised? And is the slide visible for people to read what the content?
Yes, the slide is visible. Yeah.
Can you use this the
Slide. Okay.
No question.
Is the slide visible? It's not visible. Okay. Feels clearer. Okay. Can we? All right. So the slide is clear now. We can move on.
Okay, thank you. So we don't have any questions from the things I've mentioned earlier. Okay, so I just want to put us through like a drop down of our activities. But the main thing while we're here is to kickstart the math club in the secondary schools that we've got, that we are working with, which is Bishop Phillips Academy, Aberdeen College, and then government secondary school. So one key thing that we're doing is the math club. And the idea for the math club is that we want to, well, we are starting, yes, in Oyo State currently, but our aim is to go beyond Oyo State, but the whole of Nigeria. So we want to establish a math club in secondary schools in Nigeria to expose students, students to various applications of mathematics and how they can thrive in the subject. And if by doing so, maybe their exposure to the activities and all that would inform their choice of career. Okay. Also, we would, the idea for the math club is we know that you, our teachers, you're doing the great job of teaching us, you know, the concepts, the whole thing that we need to do. In addition to that, the math club would be bringing on activities. Like we want students to see that, you know what, these numbers are not just numbers. This whole thing of, okay, for example, I'm going to talk about logarithm briefly. Logarithm was invented to solve a problem at a time. So most of these concepts that we're not doing now, they have the real life application. So we want to be able to show those real life applications by just playing games with students. And other times we might be having some inter-school competition, we might be having intra-school competition, and then there will be a context, there will be some gifts and all that to that. And also we are open to be giving out scholarship to secondary school students who are going to the university. So for those of them that particularly have decided that they want to go study mathematics at the university, And because we're managing funds and all that, we are targeting people that are going to a federal university just for now. So we will be paying their tuition fee. When we get there, when we get to that point, we will talk about, so just in case, so that you, our teachers, can help us also use this to motivate the student, to talk to them, remind them in your classes with them and all that. Then we are also anchoring a free math lesson. Now, the free math lesson is running virtually, and it's just to get people. So we are looking out for people who will volunteer to teach maths. So you can dedicate just 1 hour in a week to teach maths, and you tend to get a whole lot of audience. Currently, we have some students here in the UK that are being taught online. Some of them are preparing for what we meant by GCSE is the same thing as the WAEC that we do, the NECO and all that. And then the A-level, well, it's sort of is equivalent to JAM, but the A-level is more intense, to be fair, actually, than our JAM. But yeah, that's another thing. So currently we're looking for teachers to volunteer to teach, but we will be making provisions for example, what they will be using to teach, the graphics tablet, or just if there is need. But we're also looking for people who already have things they can use to teach. But in case if there are not things to use to teach, we would be making provision for that. Then we want to, I don't know how much of us is aware of the Olympiad competitions. NMC, that is Nigerian National Mathematical Center. Yeah, they are the one that coordinated. So they get people from different schools, they house them in Abuja, train them, and then send them to places when they do the competition. There's the Africa region one, and then there's the international one. So Nigeria doesn't really have much representation, and we haven't really been top on the list. I'm not sure we've had gold medalists at all. We probably have bronze much of the time. So we're also trying to do like a dedicated intensive training, and we will need the help of you teachers to identify those students that have that potentials. They've got the potentials and the willingness, so that we can give them extra training. And then to the standard, we're going to be using the International Mathematical Organization, the curriculum that they set to train them at their extra time. And then we are also hoping to be having like a summer program for these individual people, for these specific people, to train them very well. And then once we've trained them, then we will present them to the Nigerian National Mathematical Center to say that, see this product, they might be good, they will be good for to represent Nigeria and all that. So that's one of our consideration. Then we have some sort of career workshops as well. This is basically to add up to what we do. So there's a video, is on our website as well. We could share that later, that talks about people that have mathematics background in different fields, that talked about what they are doing, what they are using their math for, and how their math has really helped them. So I think we've done that. We came to schools, we came to, I think, all the 3 schools to present this video to students. So we're open to be doing that. And we're open to be bringing, say, for example, one person, maybe in one of the math club session, we probably will bring one person to come talk to the students, like on a granular level, on a level whereby they would understand, they would be able to relate with it, that, okay, this aspect of math can be used at this point. And just so to spur the interest, and also to tell them, okay, if you're looking to be, for example, you want to, I know that Nigeria, we are still developing in terms of our, how do I call it? When you talk about our financial industry, because the financial industry in developed economy is very robust. There's something we call derivatives. Like, you don't even need to buy a stock. You don't need to go to buy maybe stock of GTB to earn on the bank's whatever profit. There are so many financial instruments. You don't even need to buy anything like in your name. You just like, so there are so many ideas that we can share. So we can let them, students, know about these careers and let them know what provisions, what preparation they should be making to get ready for such careers. And like I said, there's the teachers training as well. I like to talk about the teachers thing with the teachers so that it's so enclosed up and it gets to the right people. Now, about the math club, so I will leave this back. I'm handing over to the team on ground. And this is for deliberation. This is for us to talk through. once we go through the Math Club Kickstart and this idea, but there's quickly, maybe after the Math Club idea, I will quickly, if the team would allow me, I need to talk about safeguarding. Another thing I also want to mention is that Kickstart Foundation is not just a foundation that is registered in Nigeria. Yes, we are registered in Nigeria. You can go to the website to get the details. We are also pursuing our registration here in the UK. And a lot of concerns has been raised to us. The UK sent us quite a lot of letter that we had to respond back to. We know that because of the way some people, some persons in Nigeria have treated things in previous times, they are trying to check with us that we're doing the right thing, that whatever, because we are a foundation, we are an NGO, we don't collect money from student or from beneficiary for any reason. When we talk about, we talk about the Math Kickstart, I will talk about the safeguarding issues, because there are some things that need to be put in place, because at the end of the day, the secondary school students that we're going to be meeting, some of them they are not yet adults, some of them are still underage. So we need to be sure that they are well kept, they are well taken care of, looked after, no one is taking advantage of them and all that. So I would pause now, I will hand over to the team on ground. And once we talk about the modalities of the Math Club and how we want to operate, and after we've done the introduction of volunteers and all those things, we can then move on. I will pause there. Is there any question for me still or none?
Do we have questions? Actually, at this point, I think we should ask questions, because Mr. Chola was asking me a question when he talked about the tutor, global tutor. He was asking me some questions about gadgets and some other things. So for some of us, what she just said, she said so many things, and one of it is the aspect of tutoring globally. That means beyond the classroom. Of course, we'll be working, we are affiliated schools, and directly we are affiliated teachers as well. But we may want to, extend the level of our partnership with Crystal to, having students across the world. So if you think maybe one of our teachers or two of our teachers may think you are interested in that, of course, this is the primary one, the teachers, the schools you're affiliated with. But then if you want to, extend, teaching virtually, that one will be virtual, yeah. So we may have some questions, how it operates, and what are the things that foundation will put in check. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry. Someone raised.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to ask if is it only the students selected in the school selected that can only participate in the program, like other students from another school which were not selected, and they will also participate in the program?
Thank you.
Actually, okay, but for Nigeria, like she said, this is a global thing. It's even beyond Nigeria. But we are just setting out to test strong things. That's why we have a pilot scheme. Okay, let's just set out small and see how it works. Then we can extend. So a pilot scheme now, we chose 2 states, Ekiti State and Oyo State. So in each state, we have 3 schools, and based on some criteria, Bishop Phillips Academy, government school, and Aberdeen is selected, and we have 3 schools also in Ekiti State. So when we see the way things are being run, and then we are established in these schools and activities are ongoing, then we can spread out maybe to schools in Ibadan first to establish that in Ibadan. So definitely in the long run, all the schools, all the students will be able to participate for instance. Meanwhile, the other hand of it is actually people that are not affiliated to the school we are working with at the moment are still benefiting from the foundation in terms of scholarship. When we support intelligent people who are not able to fund their academics, they really need help. So Crystal reach out to them and help them. Definitely people outside can reach out. Let's say in other schools we have students who they are eager to do this, not their parents. They can reach out to the foundation, their protocols will put in charge. So they can just reach out and say, okay, we need your help or something, maybe for tutoring or something. So they are going to attach them to one of our tutors across the world, and that's why we need more tutors. And also, I'm sorry, I don't know, this keeps coming to my heart, and she's talked about safeguarding of the foundation, and I would like to address that aspect of finance. Like she said, in the other country, they have this, based on how the conduct of Nigerians in other countries, they have a picture of Nigeria already. So if you present yourself to them and say you are a Nigerian, someone that will look at you, will I say, I don't know how to put it now. So we have a kind of image that people, when people are trying to, how do I put it now? They are trying to modify and bring out the right picture about Nigeria. So in terms of funds now, of course, we can hear scholarship, okay, people giving scholarship, all those things are, we give accounts for everything. Okay, the mobilization of teachers, how is it being done? How is it being done? Like myself, I'm the Southwest Director of Christian Foundation, and this is the admin. You can see that funds, we don't handle funds actually, because everything, they have representative out there that look into these issues and things that are being done the way it's being done. They said academics, strictly academics. So I don't know, but it came to my heart, and I feel that it would be nice for me to, say it out. So I don't know, Mr. Akelash, okay.
Can I say something?
Good morning, colleagues. I want to appreciate the Research Foundation for this laudable effort. But the last time we had a meeting, I think 6 months ago, I raised one question. I asked the chairperson there, has she gone to the ministry to have maybe a form of official backing? This is a school that we have a method of running the school. That is the system of grant. You cannot just come to the school maybe on a particular day and say we want to do mass club. If any inspector just come from outside, we will credit. But if we have an official backing from the Ministry of Education, at least if they are aware, we'll be able to operate. And if anybody should, or even if the government should come, we have official backing, you can tell him or her that, okay, we have a letter that is backing this thing. And whatever you want to do, we should fuse into the school program. The school program is not only about mathematics alone. We have so many other subjects. So maybe by the time we get to the way we are going to operate it, we shall discuss that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Can I quickly say something?
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for raising that. Just to say this, because of what maybe I haven't mentioned. So one of the things about myself, particularly, while I was doing my PhD, I was teaching at the university, right? And then I was doing something we call supply teaching. So supply teaching means here in the UK, if, for example, a teacher in a school calls in sick, they're unable to go to school, they need a supply teacher to stand in for the teacher. All right, if a teacher goes on maternity leave, they need someone to stand in. So I was going to secondary schools to teach in the UK. I've gone to colleges to teach, and I was also teaching at the university. Now, whatever I'm doing, whatever Christad Foundation is all about, is about my person and the things that I've seen that is in operation. Now, before I could go to these schools to teach, there are process and protocols in place. And having the knowledge of that, I wouldn't just come to Nigeria to say that let's just do anything anyhow, which is why we went to the Ministry of Education. We've got an approval from Oyo State. In fact, it was Oyo State Ministry of Education that suggested government school for us, right? So we have a letter, and this letter, all the schools have been copied in with this letter to say that they are in support of our activities. They know what we are doing. Okay, so we are not just, and this is why, for example, in Ekiti State, where there is a change in government, for example, at the moment, we held on our, we held on our operation just so that we get everything. So we have to work by the rules. We have to work with what the government says. And about the other question about, yes, I sincerely appreciate and I understand that math is not the only thing the student has to be grounded in all areas, okay? So what we are trying to look at is just to say that math is not limited. You know, people have phobia for math and all those things. That's what we're trying to do. And we also know that the school has its own calendar. It has its own timetable. So we can't just come anyhow and say, okay, we want to do math club today. No. So which is why the only time we're taking advantage of this moment for this induction is this, because it's the start of the term, which we know that things are still relaxed. Our communications with school so far indicates that we might be doing this activity during the school's extracurricular activity. So we're not just going to come and disrupt any set timetable. So this is also one of the things we need to talk about. And our events are really structured. It's not something that will take forever. It won't take so long. It's just a game, play a game, and that's it. Do what we need to do, state the objective and do it, and that's it. I don't know if I've answered your question, sir.
You said yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I also wanted to say, okay, yes, please.
Okay, my question is centered on how does the foundation intend to keep funding the program?
Thank you so much.
This is one of the custodian seems to be addressing the question, but she actually didn't address the question that I wanted it to be answered. She said, okay, let me just ask that, are you going to be the only person that will be solely funding the foundation, or you are going to be seeking assistance from other parastatals? That's number one. Number two is the motivation part. I am not talking about monetary part now for motivation, but there has to be something that is going to keep both the teachers and the students going. So I don't know if there's a way you can help us address that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a very good question. Thank you so much. I like that question, and it's quite important. Okay, so about funding. Okay, so right now, as it were, so we've got 7 board members. Okay, and I could tell you their names. So myself, okay, and I've got my mentor. He works with the World Bank. Not that we have a lot of money. I've got another colleague of mine who also had math background. So the 3 of us are the math people in the team. The 2 people work with IFC. And myself, well, I'm here. I won't say what I'm doing. I've got another colleague. We've got 2 people in Nigeria that are in the board member. So for now, the only thing we are doing is we are sourcing funds amongst ourselves with the little things that we've got. However, on the 2nd of May 2022, this year, I turned 30, and then I did like an official launch of the foundation here in the UK. Some set of old volunteers, they probably joined the event, and I think some teachers also joined the event. Now, the idea for me to do that launching was for people to tell them about the foundation. Now, another thing I probably have not established, well, not necessarily the overarching idea for the foundation, is that this foundation is set up in memory of my grandmother, my late grandmother, and my late mother. But of course, the objectives is part of the motivation that I established earlier on. So when I brought people together, there are people that know these people. For my birthday, we talked about it, and I said to them, these are the things that we're doing. These are the things we will be doing. If you'd like to support us, let us know, right? Yes, we've got some people show interest in helping us, but because of the things in the UK now, one of the things that might not be known to people is that there's issue of fraud and there's the issue of money laundering. Now, we as a foundation, we need to be careful and we need to stand for what's right. So one of the things why those promises have not come true, for example, there are not so much promises. Maybe someone wants to be giving us say £5 in a month, which is something on the long run, or just few people, selected people. But the issue is that we need to get registered in the UK to have, I don't want any foundation money come to my own account. I want the foundation stuff to go to the foundation. So we need to have a foundation. We have an account in Nigeria. That's what we're operating on in Nigeria currently. But for people in the UK, for example, my friends and colleagues that I know that might want to be helping us, we need to get to that point where we satisfy all the requirements in the UK get registered, have a UK account in the name of Christad Foundation. And then anybody who wants to put a penny, a pound or whatever, can put it there. And that's what we will be managing. Like I said, which is one of the reasons why I said the student will be funding to university will be federal university. Okay, because school fees in federal universities are cheaper than it is in states. I went to a state university, but I was lucky to have found a generous and a blessed mom, a guardian who helped me. So, and another thing I want to say, I don't know if but in the future, maybe once we've done, so whatever we are doing together, like Miss Veronica said, Oyo State is like a pilot scheme right now. And it's going to be a pace setter. And I think also the motto of the Oyo State itself is pace setters, if I'm correct. If you're able to put things together, have a proper structure, and have a template, okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't work, we will be able to go on a large scale. Now, when we go on the large scale and we have evidence of what we've done together, both as teachers, as volunteers, as students, we can then say, for example, maybe there's a company that is doing fund, whatever, we can now go for international, maybe grant request or something. But because we are a foundation, there are so many processes in place. There is annual general meeting. There are a lot of things that talks about the finances. So everything, every £1 or £1 that I spent must be traced. If not, I'm at jeopardy. The board members are at jeopardy. So these are the things that we wouldn't want to put in place. For example, I am a civil servant right now in the UK, and I dare not do any funny thing. I cannot want to stain my name because I want to give back to the community. So which is why I'm being careful, and my team can explain they can tell you, I'm always, how do I call this? Not overthinking, but I'm very like careful or worried or something about one thing not working, or let's do it right. That's why our own aim is we need to do it right and do it well. Which is why whatever it is, the foundations or idea and all that, I want everybody on board now. We have to see it as an individual way of doing something. And in doing these things, so many things will come back to us. I tell you, maybe not necessarily as a large sum of cash, but imagine if you're a registered foundation here in the UK, you are able to come. My team are saying I'm very meticulous. Sorry. You are able, we're not making any promises. We're not saying, but there are a lot of things that your affiliation with the foundation can bring beyond what it is. There is a teachers training that we are open to in collaboration with AIMS. AIMS is African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, School Enrichment Center in South Africa. When I was doing my master's in AIMS, I volunteered. You see, all these things I'm doing now, there are things that I probably volunteered at one point in time that I never even had anything back at all. I volunteered for their tutoring project and all those things. They do a professional course for teachers in South Africa. So they bring teachers from all provinces in South Africa. They house them for some days. They do a training, right? They train them how to teach maths better and how to use certain resources. So I volunteered to monitor, to help teachers and all do some programs that day, to facilitate some programs. And I felt that would be a nice thing. The founder of that program, she's here in the UK, and she's the one for some of the people that have been joining the G10 events on Saturdays. I think the next one is coming this Saturday. This Saturday, we have another training. Some people are on the G10 group as well. She's here in the UK. She was once a lecturer in Cambridge University. She still lives in Cambridge. So she said to me that, okay, I told her about the foundation. She said, okay, yeah, we could do things together. You could make your class to come. But because the program is being sponsored by South Africa, South Africa government and all that, they are unable to make those funds available for our teachers. So which is why we said to them that, okay, so far you're going to allow our teachers to come. We can be sending, say, 1 or 2 teachers. We will fund that ourselves for 1 or 2 teachers to come join the program. And then when the teachers come, you can feed on other teachers back. And then maybe another year, because they do it yearly, the next round, another set of teachers will go. But we also need metrics to know who are the teachers that invested so much and that needs this exposure. So we really need all hand on deck. About the teachers, about, for example, the free maths tuition that we said, we're going to get teachers available. We're going to get them graphics, these tablets to use, because with math you need to write and all that. So where you can write those equations when students can see it real time on the screen. We're going to make available your internet. For people that have been joining G10, we tend to make provisions for their internet. Yes, we know that is an addition to time. You're spending your time and all that. You could be using the time for other things. But I tell you, this and many more you can build up to your own personal curriculum CVs to apply for even top positions. And we are praying that Nigeria will get better and things will get better as well. So there are a lot of opportunities for teachers in that regard. For students, the opportunity is there for them. They get scholarship for their participation one time or the other. There are quite a lot of things that they get, even mentorship, exposures to things that they don't know exist in the math. For the volunteers, undergraduate, they get mentored, they get some courses, and even teachers, if they want to do some courses as well, we make them available. And maybe once in a while, we might just be having a thank you token, but it's not like, it's a foundation, like I said. We currently, because we don't have a UK account now, there's nothing in the UK. The only thing was everything that people gave me for my birthday, I dedicated it to the foundation. That I'm still holding on here, right? But I can't send the money because we have to give traces until when the account is open here. I put the money into the accounts in here, and then whenever I want to do anything in Nigeria, the money moves from that account to a Nigerian account, the Crystal Foundation account in Nigeria, and then everything is accountable for. And that's, I hope I've been able to answer that question. I know I've gone too far, but I don't know if that answers the question.
I said yes.
Oh, great. Thank you. Do we have other questions before we go into the math club activity? I know our time is far-fetched, so that we can go back to schools and all that.
All right, my own question is based on free math lesson. I want to ask about the training and the time for the lesson so that interested students may participate.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So we are going to make on our websites, we already prepared the link. We have a newsletter that comes out every month. So we have a newsletter for September already. So there is a link that we created for students who are interested to join. So the idea for the free math lesson is that we want a lesson every day of the week, but not by the same person. So for example, let's say we have 5 volunteers to take the math that they said they want to be taking the math lessons. Remember, they only volunteering, say 1 hour of their weekdays of their time in each week. So day one, so let's say Mr. A chooses that is available every Tuesday. So we know that the Tuesday's class will be anchored by Mr. A, and then the classes is continuous. So say, for example, they started probability 1 today in Mr. A's class on Tuesday. The next Tuesday, Mr. A will follow up. But the idea is that we also make students to know that there are different lessons, and the lesson runs throughout the day, throughout the week, but it's the same lesson. So they might choose what day they want to join. So they want to join the Thursday class, for example. Then the student comes every Thursday. If the student wants to be joining the Friday class, they come every Friday. So once we have a show of interest, we're going to make the link and every other thing available and accessible on our website. Have I answered that question? Thank you.
Thanks so much. What is the official putting on ground lessons and other things? You know, the other time we came to our place and we gave some students with form to fill and other things. You know, perhaps some graduated, so we still need more. And of the people is that all these things limited to those people that have been chosen. You know, not all that register for this. We're still going to mobilize them to get more. You know, just for those that show interest in mathematics club. I made the lesson and other things, competition and everything.
Okay.
Only the fisheries or the extend to other students.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. So for example, So the only thing that is only for the schools that we are in now is the math club activities. The math club activities happens in the school, okay? So the schools that we already have approvals for, and then we're already in contact with, that's where we'll go. But we are not limited to the students that have the awareness yet. We're going to continue the awareness. We know that some people will leave SS3 student, they would have gone, there would have been a new GSS1 student, we know that. So we would create that awareness continuously for people to join. We make the math club open for people to join anyways. So that's available. For the math lesson is available for anybody. In fact, like I said, we have 3 students currently in the UK. There is 1 student doing our A-level with one of our wonderful executive team, Mr. Bita. So she's doing A-level here. She's going to go to the university. There's 1 person starting A-level as well. Then there's 1 boy trying to do GCSE. So we have people here in the UK, and as it goes, we might make it open. Even people, you might be teaching someone in South Africa that will just come online for free lessons, America or something. And on the long run, we might even be extending this primary school teaching, because we know that particularly here in the UK, there's one interesting thing about the UK educational system. And I think we can also learn from each other. You see, in the UK educational system, when they're in the primary school, all the students are in the primary school, everybody is in the same age. There is no promotion or demotion. If you're in this age, you're meant to be in this class, because they don't want inferior complex. They want students to be equal in that regard. However, if you want to go to, if they want to proceed to secondary school, there is an exam that they do, because at the time they'll be going to secondary school, all the students would have been, they'll be 11 years at the time, right? So there's an exam they call 11 plus. Now, this exam is solely optional for parents who is willing. If you do the exam or if you don't, you go to secondary school anyway. But if the people that do this exam, and I think we have similar thing in Nigeria like that. So if you do the exam and you pass the exam, the person goes to what we call a grammar school. Now, a grammar school is like a top school here. They are the very good schools here, secondary schools here, where students, they have special resources. Most of them tend to go top schools, Oxford, Cambridge, and all the top schools like that. But some students that don't, now, because here in the UK, people don't really force their children to study because of a lot of things. But some people are doing that secretly, that they don't let the system know. You know, they have to push their children, and enough motivation that is given to students really matters. Some people they feel like they don't want to stress. That exam is nerve-wracking and all that. They don't get their student to do it. But one of the things that we're also going to be doing as Freestyle Foundation, once you're registered here, is to motivate our African parents, African children here, to let their children, to train them so that they have that opportunities and all those things like that. So I only branch to say that on the long run as well, we might be having the secondary school idea and as well. And on the long run, just on the long run, if we are able to have a good standard and we are doing something very interesting, we might, who knows, we might be able, I don't know how many people read about a young lady, her name is Victoria, I've forgotten her surname. She's the daughter of one of my mentor. She got scholarship to different schools in America to go as undergraduate study, to do an undergraduate degree, just from that Nigeria there. So if we are able to reach that, attain that standard, and we are putting much effort into it, why not? We could train people to get even scholarships to do undergraduate studies, not only master students as well. So this is a lot of things that we want to do, as the Lord will be helping us. I don't know if I've answered that question.
Sorry, sir.
Thanks so much for the question that actually answered. But the clarification that I needed just like that, you know, based on the lesson, they should be mentioned as online. This actually that was for the diaspora, people, students.
No,
I think so what about the one that is secondary school?
Yes,
I think she's two things together. She made mention of online lesson, and I think there's another lesson for the free lesson for the students that have already shown
math club, yes.
Yes. Okay. So they can.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that the math lesson, the free math lesson is going to be virtual, be it for students that are in Nigeria, be it for students here, any part of the world. And the only reason is that when we go to safeguarding, I'm going to mention that to you, the reason. Until when we have a well-structured, so for now, it's only students that are able to join online that will join online. But if any student need help, for example, they need the resources to join online, we might be looking at a central place where they would go to, but we are trying to be careful not to let students go outside of school hours to say that they are going for anything in Crystal Foundation. Do you understand? That's why we prefer that if they are in their house, they say they want to join the foundation. Yes, they can do that. That's okay, but we also want to be careful that nobody's taking advantage of any children. Except the school is going to now, this will be another arrangement with the schools, except if the schools that we are working with right now is able to now say that, okay, we can accommodate, say 1 hour after school for the free maths lesson, a physical one, so that maybe people from other schools or whatever can now join. At that time, we know that it is operation under a school authority and that the students are safe.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, she's actually talking about the math club itself. So
Oh,
she's talking
okay.
about, yes, you know, the last time we went, we gave them form, those that were interested. So she's actually asking that, is it just open to those that we gave form or to other people that didn't show interest as well? So if they want to now, so that's actually what she's talking about, not the.
Okay, okay, thank
yeah,
you. I'm so sorry, I missed it out. So sorry about that. Yes, please. It's open to, I thought I mentioned earlier that it's actually open to everybody who is interested. But the reason why we gave out the form, okay, is because in the UK here, we talk about something like consent a lot. You don't want to do something without that person's consent. And we know that what some of our young persons, they still have, they are very young, they are not adults yet to make their own decisions. The only reason we gave them that sleep is so that their parents at home, they are aware of what Crystal Foundation is and that there is something happening. We know that you, our teachers, the schools, they know about it. But for every student who is interested, it will be good. The form will be made available at every point in time for anybody who is interested, just to get the consent of their parent to know that, yes, they consent that, okay, their children is affiliated to Crystal Foundation. But it's open to, we are not restricting anybody, it's open to everybody.
So as I answered, that answered it. Okay, answer.
Yeah, can we just move to the modalities of the math club?
Okay, my question is very similar to the last speaker. I want to ask, is there any minimum or maximum number of students that you are targeting at open for now? In case we have a lot of them that see the right and interest as per the forms that we put out at the right time.
Thank you for your question, sir. So, like I said, the math club activity is just to engage students in math. So, as much as people that will be joining with that one does not have any financial resources to it. It's just what we'll be mobilizing our volunteer. We will just probably need more volunteers to work with the teachers and all. But for the scholarship, it's about interest. We don't want to force people to do anything. But what we are trying to do is with the math club and all is to create the awareness of the possibilities in mathematics. So the ones that we are sponsoring, they are students that are interested. They want to go study, they've decided in their own art of arts that they want to go and study mathematics at the university. So they've applied for JAMB, they've said, okay, they want to do math, and then they've got their, so that's how we would, those are the ones who will sponsor. And then there's a criteria to that, because we have to make provisions to the government, to the, what's the name? The UK Charity Commission. They asked us, I'm going to show that once we talk about the math club this time. I'm going to briefly show that on the screen. So there is a document we prepared on how we will select students that we're going to be beneficiaries of the scholarship, but they just need the interest and they need to get good grades for their O levels and then get the admission to a federal university, and that's it really. But I'll show you the modalities about that. And the other provisions that we are making is,
if anybody knows anybody in the university that are probably struggling with school fees, that genuinely could not fund and all that, at some point in time, we've had to step in to pay fee of some people. So we can do that. But one of the things we have also made clear to the UK is that we don't pay money to students directly. We pay it to the school because they need evidence of that. But the only thing that gets to the students maybe is their, the living expenses, or what's the name of maintenance fee or something. That's the one that gets to the student. But anything school fee goes to the school. The school knows that, okay, the Christart Foundation is sponsoring this student. So that's how we would work with that. But for now, we still have limited resources. But again, we are still starting now. So the only student that will benefit right now, probably student that will finish next year, right? Maybe they join the math club. So maybe we'll have our first set of scholarship students next year admission, people that are finishing from the math club now, going for the admission. So yeah, that's what we have now.
All right, well, I have a question. For the online volunteer lesson, what is the time frame for any volunteer that wants to give the lesson, the duration, so as to schedule time?
Can you come again?
As well as the duration for the online volunteer lesson.
The lesson is just 1 hour, maximum maybe 2 hours, or 1 hour, 30 minutes in a week. That's all.
I want to appreciate the Christart Foundation for this program. In Shopping Academy, we have students coming to us that when are we starting the mathematics club? We're telling them very, very soon we are going to start. Now we have some challenges at the Shopping Academy, in that the number of students are very, very many. They are massive. Now I will suggest that if it is possible, that we have a collaboration with other teachers, subject teachers in the school, so that anytime we are going to have the program, the students, the excesses of the student can be curtailed, and we'll be able to manage the students. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
That's one challenge, because when the team came to the school, they dropped the form. Eventually, we realized that the teachers have to go and make photocopy to give other students. So the number of students that have shown their interest in joining the mathematics club are so many. Many still want to join the mathematics club. So I don't know how we can do about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think this is a good question. So we will need more teachers, definitely. And I think this should lead us into the math club kickstart. Can Miss Veronica take over now so that we can talk about, yes, sir. So we would need more teachers. And then when we talk about the kickstart of the math club now, we already, more or less today is the kickstart now. We already started officially. Maybe we will be meeting with the students next week or upper week, depending on what you teacher says we should do. But yes, we can start. So let's talk about the math club now. Thank you. Miss Veronica, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Allen. Yeah, on the hand of the foundation, we put some things in place, and we have our volunteers there, like I said. Please, if you're a volunteer, can you please stand so we can see you? Yeah? No, we don't have all of them here. It's just a brief. Okay. These are some of our volunteers, and our volunteers are graduates and undergraduate students with a good standing in the mathematics. Please, you can have your seat. So, certain students, we have put some things in place, like you said. We are trying to, so anybody will not just come to school and say we are from Christart Foundation and take advantage. So we made available all the volunteers that will be coming to schools. Of course, our volunteers here in Ibadan, due to some availability issues and all, we won't be able to say that, okay, look at this particular volunteer, maybe Mr. Tuli or Mr. Daniel will be attached to the school. There could be a kind of switching, because we don't even want a particular volunteer to say, we don't want volunteers to say, okay, we are in this school, and then, once you get used to things, you try to take like we are in charge. So we are going to be switching. For any volunteer that will be coming to any of our affiliated schools, we come with the t-shirts. And we plead with the teachers and the school authority, the school management to please check their ID card and make sure it matches with their face. So this is Crystal's ID card for the volunteers. So everyone that will be coming, and if there's please can you please project the timetable? This will be when we see on our ballot, done with this and we have a way of doing our evaluation and all. But if there's going to be any kind of switching, when we come to school authority, we can give a call to Mr. Allen and say, Mr. Allen, please. Based on what is, we have a timetable. We are going to drop the link, or we are still working on the timetable. We'll drop the link on the teachers group so that everyone can have access to it. Each week, you know that, okay, who is coming? Their contact number is there and their email address is there. So you don't have to reach to us to reach them, but you can still reach out to them. But you can call them directly and say, oh, we are volunteering, I was supposed to be here. Where are you at the moment? So we are going to give the teachers access to you so you can actually view the timetable and know who is coming. And if there's going to be any switching for that week, you would have known ahead of time. So that being said, we know that, of course, our teachers were really trying. Like Mr. Allen here was my teacher when I was in secondary school. He was my fellow maths teacher. So we know that our teachers are really
my teacher too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the chairperson for the maths teacher. He taught both of us in school then. So, and he's here today. So we know that we have capable teachers, but what we are trying to do is just people have told you for mathematics, and we've said that time to down number. So it's just changing the approach we use, the techniques, to get a different result. So it should be the normal coming to class and teaching it, maybe like a theory or something. So it's going to be games. And for each of the topics of the curriculum, we have a template. Please can we project the template? Okay. So the template is, if you want to achieve something, it is always good to define what you want to achieve. So at the end of the time, you'll be able to measure your productivity. Okay, do I really achieve this? To set the goal. So for each class, we are going to have a template that everything should follow for every of our activity. We are going to project that and we can see. So what is the aim that we want to achieve from this? How do we want to achieve this? So we can go back to support the interest of the students for that particular topic or for the curriculum generally. We can tell them the history of things, how things can be done, how it was being done, what brought about that particular topic, what was it brought about to solve, what's the problem it's going to solve, like bringing theory to real life application of those topics, how they can work, to support the interest of the students. So we have a template and we are going to be following the templates. We are not depending on the volunteers to come with their own ideas to come and teach the students. All the curriculum will be, mapped out by the team, Christian team, the executive team, the mathematicians in the field. Is going to be mapped out, and then we know what we want to deliver. We give it to them. We are working collaboratively with the teachers as well. So we are not depending on their capacity. We are giving the foundation is giving them what to give out, how to give it out. So there will be a kind of training orientation on this games activity. However, we encourage creativity on the part of the teachers and the volunteers as well. Come up with ideas. Kristen can give you our team of mathematicians, they can give you, okay, this is the structure, this is the game. We can come up with an idea, okay, we can actually, if this can go this way, the first thing is to have the deep knowledge, insight of mathematics, what we want to do, then you can play around it. Okay, we can actually do this game as well. Like when we gave out the vacancy for the volunteers, we asked for people like even the computer scientists that can come in. We can develop a game. It's going to be like a software. You can come up with ideas and say, okay, this game, and you can even go, global. This game can solve these questions. Mathematics looks difficult, but we are trying to bring it down so people can, know that it's not a big deal. So these are the things we are trying to achieve. So For each week, everything will be structured by the team, by the mathematician and the team, and given to the students, so everyone know what they are coming to deliver. So if the evaluation team, the supervisor comes to the school, if the supervisor becomes the supervisor, monitoring the activity of the volunteers. Of course, there should be feedbacks from the teachers as well. We are going to be checking the feedback. Okay, what do you see from the school? So just to make sure that we keep improving on the system. What can we do to improve things? So we get feedback, we go around and see. Since we all know what we want to achieve, it is open to the team, to the teachers. We move around and say, okay, did they really do this? Is the person doing the job? Do we need to set in and empower them again and equip them and So please, the template. Is it ready, sir? Then from
She's going to share it.
Huh?
She'll be sharing the template.
She'll be sharing it. Okay, the chairperson will talk about
I've shared it already. Can you not see the share? Is it not online now? Can you not see the screen?
No, it's not on the screen.
No.
Why are you seeing on the screen?
Christian Foundation on the screen.
Okay, so let me share again. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can see it. So for each topic, we'll be doing every of the topics to follow this template. So the teacher, the presenter that is coming, the teachers and volunteers will state the objective of the topic, state what the purpose of the topic is, what the students would know at the end of the topic. Okay, we'll address the student, this is what we want to achieve from this topic. Then the introduction, introduce the topic in an interesting way. This is where, like I said, this is where the creativity of the teacher comes into play. Then the problem statement, state the problem that the topic tries to solve or is related to. So you bring the theory or that classroom to apply it to real life problems. So these are just introducing students to it before bringing them into the topic fully. So a bit of history could help as well. Yeah, so who started this thing, how does it start and all. Tell them the history of historical perspective of how long the problem has been. So it's just to make them feel like, okay, look around you now. Can you see there's a problem? Look at the way this room is. You can say there's no power supply. So there's a problem in Nigeria. Keep calling, there's a problem, there's a problem. The availability of problem calls for solutions. Where there is a problem, then there are opportunities. So we keep help them understand where the problem started, and we give them any problem to be solved. Then the presenter solve some maths puzzles, problem set games as it relates to the problem being discussed earlier. So it's going to be continuous. Then the further work here, we apply the additional tasks. So everyone that is coming to class will not just depend on what okay, we give the team, the Christian Foundation gives you, okay, this is curriculum, how it works. You read up. We encourage volunteers now. We encourage you to read up on those topics. And for those who have had the opportunity of studying abroad and all, you know that when you're dealing with a particular topic, they give you external sources where you can read more on topics. So it will actually help everyone to build their capacity. So student tasks. Here we apply the tasks that will be carried out by the students. Then further reading. Is that how we have this? Can you show down the books? So this includes any other material the presenter would need to consume ahead of the talk. Like I said, you have to read more and all. So we'll make this also, we'll send it to the group so that for every of our activities, we can follow the same thing. It will be accessible to the teachers and volunteers. Then now go to the timetable, please.
Quick one, Ms. Veronica, can I chip in? Can I quickly just follow up from what you just said before you talk about the timetable?
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Veronica. Before Ms. Veronica continues, so what Ms. Veronica has just said to us is that this template that we've seen here, we already have a curriculum designed already for all our activities. So our curriculum would be tailored to follow this approach that we've got here. So it will be tailored to follow this template that we have here. And the way we build the curriculum is such that it identifies with what is in the Nigeria syllabus already. We bought the syllabus, we bought the hard copy actually from UI. One of our volunteers helped us to source for that. So we mapped out all our games that we have to pick up on those topics. Now, for example, one Miss Veronica just talked about, we can quickly talk about logarithm about it before they go. There's going to be some hands-on game that you play in the session, but I just want to go through what Miss Veronica said. So one of our executive team had this. So for example, when we talk about logarithm, this is for senior secondary schools. So for example, now the objective is obvious here. It says, it's just to give the student the historical perspective to logarithm, right? So that they would see because like Ms. Veronica said, for every problem, there is a potential solution. So what motivated the invention of logarithm? And okay, so the question is, why do we need logarithm? Okay, now to know why we need the logarithm, we need to know how it started. Now, this is just like a little story, really. So the orientation of our logarithm problem, it was solved by Napier. The idea was back then, before the ages of computer, before we have computer, our phones or anything, when sailors go to sail and when there is need for huge computation, say we want to multiply these numbers here, a huge sum of numbers. Yes, you could, do the traditional way of times and do that calculation. But imagine if you have to do this for 1,000 similar calculations, how then were they doing it back then? So it was a cumbersome. So logarithm was invented as actually to solve the problem of, having numerous, doing like a large sort of calculations and addition. So this is more of like the motivation, talking about the story of the sailors and the likes, and then talks about the index. So this is who solved the problem now. John Napier solved the problem, and then the index. Talk about it in a simple way, just show them and all those things. This can be talked on and some analogies. And that's just a brief about just something following that template. But we even have something more interesting that will be engaging. But the idea is that all our games would follow these templates where we set up historical perspective and also the problem statement itself. So Ms. Veronica, over to you.
Project timetable, so we can have a view. There could be some changes on the timetable, and then we proceed from there.
Okay, so the timetable, is it been updated or the ones we've got?
The one with the date. So updated, but there could still be some updates.
Give me a second, please. But you can be asking the schools what they think about as the timetable changed. Are we still doing the same time? We can have that conversation ongoing while I'm setting up that.
Again, please.
I'm trying to, yes, sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
so the question is, the time will give us to come and have the club activity in school. Has it changed, or we are still working by weeks? As it is, everything is set and we are ready to set out. So for Bishop Phillips, does it remain for curriculum activities? So we'll come every weekly. It retains for Aberdeen College. We come weekly during the extracurricular activities. All right, thank you, sir. For Aberdeen, please can you open the spreadsheet, the second sheet?
I'm trying to find it. Can you send the link to me on WhatsApp so I can share it?
The link is on the WhatsApp, all the pages. You can use the volunteers group.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, please.
Okay. Just check your mail. I'm forwarding it to your mail now.
Okay.
Actually, we are looking at, Mr. Kiola asked if all the students will be in different classes or will be together. So the plan was for those schools, for the school that has 2 junior schools, the junior school will be merged together per class, and the senior school per class. you saying something, Chairperson?
No. I was talking to Dami that I haven't received it.
Okay.
Sent.
So it will be per class for each school. They'll be merged together. And depending on the games you are coming for that week, the juniors, well, the juniors could just want to just 3 could be matched. For
the venue.
No, what? Okay, I understand.
Oh.
For that could work for Aberdeen actually, merging students together, but for
I'm sharing now.
capacity.
For the student that day, but we are going to have a manageable size. We're going to have a manageable size from that day. Maybe 100, maybe 150. While other teachers are engaging the students in other activities, with the math club, we go to maybe a room where we have our own discussion. It can be for the school because we have more than 1,000 students. So we're not be able to control them. But those that have shown interest, we take them to a room, we do their own there, then the other students will be attended to by the other teachers for other activities. Let's start little. By the time it gets broader, we want to do.
So it's projected the time for the.
So this is it. For Aberdeen College, we have one Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 9:15. Does it remain? All right, sir. So for Bishop Phillips Academy, we have 8 a.m. to 9:15 on Thursday. And is it weekly, sir? All right, sir. Thank you. For government schools.
Excuse me, is twice a month.
Okay.
Yes, twice a month.
Okay. For Aberdeen. For all the schools. Okay, for government school, junior school 1, 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. Junior school 1, 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. on Friday. And the last 2 periods is from what time to what time? Okay, 1 p.m. So for junior school, and then for senior school, Thursday 8:20 to 10 a.m. Senior school, government school. Okay, so thank you. Can we go to the timetable, please? The other sheet. We'll send the link to the group, sir, so everyone can use the link and access the timetable. Okay, sir.
It's a very good public address system. You know the nature of these students, people to calm them down. By the time you speak and they can hear and you can just attract their attention. But by the time you are talking and this thing is fluctuating, you see the students, they will show that they are students. Yes. But when we have a very good public address system, this one is as loud as this because of this room. If you can have a bigger one that will be able to at least travel far, it's better.
Thank you very much, sir. It's one of the evaluation and work on that and make provision for that. So for this, I will send the link to the teachers group so we can access the spreadsheets. On the spreadsheet, there are 2 sheets there. This is the first one. And on the second one, we have the school date, the date that school provided for us to have our activities. And as time goes on, if there will be any changes, we'll be having changes, there will be seeing the changes, even in time. School may say, okay, we've changed time, let's make it this time. You can effect it there, and everybody can access it. That's why we have it on this spreadsheet. So, the way it is now, we have 18 volunteers, and the way it is structured, 3 persons per school. Like for Aberdeen Senior School, we have 3 persons. There are alternating colors here. So Aberdeen Senior School, Aberdeen Senior School, Aberdeen Senior School. So we know when we spot one particular school, you can check out the color. Instead of wasting time on the spreadsheet, you can just, okay, this is it. Like I said earlier on, please, there could be some switching here, but let us all check the ID card and the one thing is security issues in Nigeria. We don't want people to come and say they are from Crystal and they take advantage and do whatever they want to do. So let's check their timetable. So their phone number is there and their email address is there, and we are in touch with them. We can reach out to them, and the teachers can also help us reach out to them and call them that where are you? We are expecting you at Bishop Phillips Academy or any other school. And that will be that about that. Please, do we have any question? All right.
Program to go. In fact, you have answered many of the questions that I wanted to ask. That are they going to be teaching the volunteers? What is going to be the role of the volunteer? What is going to be the role of the teacher? But you have said everything, you have streamlined everything, and you have done the part. Please start as so wonderful work. Now, is coming, the volunteers are coming. We are all coming from different backgrounds. We all have different emotions. If we want this thing to work, there must be a sort of mutual respect. There must be a sort of mutual understanding. We are in the field. There are times when we want to deal with all these teachers from you, what they call them, TP teachers. We know the kind of problem we're having with them. When you want to deal with purpose too, we have experience. So you have to give your volunteers orientation, please. We are the teachers, we are so there must be, we are not to respect them, they should respect us. No over emotion, no over temperamental. They should not be temperamental.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. That's really very, very key.
You may think it is the same thing. Please, we should have to condone and manage ourselves. Thank you.
Give a round of applause for you. That's actually a big issue that if it is not addressed, it can actually spoil everything we put in place. So thank you very much. And our volunteers are here now, and I know they are here, but I want to plead with the teacher as well that, of course, I'm sorry to go on official a bit. I like to be played, but even if I see Mr. Allen and Mr. Allen is, let's say we are working together, I know that Mr. Allen is older than myself. I know that in all things he's older. So I know I should respect him. So sometimes we don't need anyone to tell us. But in order to make it official to have, I would want to plead with the teachers and the volunteers. When you get to a school, this is Mrs. Ahmed. Call her by Mrs. Ahmed. A volunteer, if the volunteer is a miss, please what's your name? Miss Ramat. Please stand up. Okay. If Miss Ramat and Mr. Latuji stands, of course, Miss Ramat know that Mr. Latuji is my dad. I know, because you said it. Okay, so I know that if I stand with me, Mr. Latuji, I know that Mr. Latuji is a dad to me. But Mr. Latuji, you know, like he said, individual differences matters a lot, and we must learn to manage it. It's very important. And if you look at official settings, they will say, please address Mr. and Mrs. address by. Even if I want to speak Yoruba, I can't call Mr. Latuji and say Mr. Latuji and call him by his name and no, it's not right. So when we come to school, let us sit down, Mr. Man. Thank you very much.
Can I say something quickly, please? Hello, am I being heard?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that concern that is being raised by I didn't get the name of the teacher that talked about understanding and all that, which is why we set up, when we set up with these things, we said it's like individually, like we said, okay, this is the teachers and these are the undergraduate students. And so for me, I think we need to, and this is why I try to buttress on the point that the teachers are the ones, in fact, let me say Crystal Foundation, our whole aim and objective is central on the teacher. Now, the volunteers are supporting the teachers in putting to place all these things that we are doing. No volunteers can say that I am here today all by myself, having not gone through any teachers. No. We all know how much more our teachers have invested in us. I respect the profession a lot. I teach, and I give that accord a lot. So, and I'm assured that our volunteers will do the same. We know that you are the expert in your field. You are the ones who know the curriculum. In fact, let me say one interesting thing. As I am now that I've done masters in math, I can't go to a UK university, a UK secondary school just anyhow to say I want to teach math. No, you have to be specially trained to be a teacher. So the fact that anybody does whatever they've done, you can't just, because it's a different thing. You are trained to teach. You have your curriculum, you have a way of doing it. But what we are doing, we are trying to go beyond the traditional teaching. We're trying to spice up our teaching, to add more games, to add more fun to the things that we do. So the volunteers are supporting teachers. And that's what I want us to see, that we're all working together. And I'm sure with the calibers of volunteers that we have, they will not look down or talk down or say something against our teachers. And I also want the understanding to be there from our teachers that if peradventure you've experienced one, we made an example about some people in UI, we have to take out that experience in dealing with other people, because if we have that in mind, any little thing that anybody do, we might want to see it in that light. But I want to assure you that if there is any issue at all, you will be checked. Before Ms. Veronica finalize, because I need to talk about safeguarding a law. So this is one of the issues that come to the UK. There is a safeguarding document I will make available on our website. I'm going to show you the document because you have to submit it. What we are trying to do is that no activities outside of school hours without appropriate arrangements. We need to talk about anything that is outside of school hours. Now, volunteers should not engage with students on any social media platform. All engagement should strictly be formal. Please and please, for God's sake, our dear, wonderful volunteers, what you are doing, you're representing Christart Foundation in a formal light. It is only teachers that have, the government are the one that has employed them, and then they have that relationship with students. If there is need to go through anything, please, if there's any report, anything you need to report, please go through the teacher. If any student has done anything, don't be rude to any student. And also, please, I know that in Nigeria, we still engage with correcting children, students, and all those things. But please, none of our volunteers should be involved in any of such acts. It is the teacher's own duty to do what they please, because they are the ones teaching in the school. Please, if you've noticed anything, just nicely talk to the teacher. And for all the schools that we are working with, we will need a safeguarding personnel, because we need to put your name down here in the UK as well as the safeguarding personnel, that if there is any safeguarding issue, but there is more to safeguarding as well, because for anybody that is going to be our safeguarding personnel, we will need a police report. We'll talk about that later. We'll need it because we need to manage, because if there's any issue, because we know that children might be going through something at home, their attitude of something might be as a result of certain things, we need to be careful. Then no unsolicited financial transaction with any of our beneficiaries. Please don't tell someone, and this is just volunteers, and also don't tell someone that, oh, come and benefit, they will give you scholarship. Or I know some people, by virtue of, because you tell someone about Christart Foundation and they benefited, maybe that person will not want to now, do something for you. Please just tell them no, that what you've done is just the normal awareness, creating the awareness. Please, all the programs, everything that we are doing, it is free. No exchange of money. What we would try to do is, for volunteers, we would then reimburse you your transport and the other benefits you get here and there. But please, no exchange of any money with any of the students, of any beneficiary, because we know that some of our beneficiaries, though they are secondary school students now, they will be university students at the same time. Some of them will be graduating. Please, for anybody on our scholarship or anything, please and please. And then no sexual relationship of any sort should be formed between volunteers and students. And I know that we have good volunteers. I'm sorry, don't make it sound like, because we have to do this. If you notice, this session is recorded as well, because we are not just Crystal Foundation in Nigeria, here in the UK as well. So all these things need to be signposted properly. Let me also, but this is just like a summary of that. The main document is here. It's going to be on our website. So there is safeguarding. There's safeguarding. So there's a document. You can see it's signed. You could see the date there. And this is one of our, so this is a lot of issue, right? Safeguarding, okay, under the following: providing free mathematics tutoring and create awareness, what, all the things that we do. Purpose of the policy, the risks to children. These are the possible risks, self-harm, whatever. These are the identified risk principle. So this will be provided on our website, okay? And then someone has questioned earlier about how to select students and all those things for scholarship. We also needed to make this provision, the grant making policy. So this will also be available on our website as well, so that anybody who wants to be a beneficiary will know what they will be judged against. So that's the end from my own side. Let me stop sharing, or does the team want me to do the, do I have to share anything, or I stop sharing, right?
Yeah, you can stop sharing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone once again for being here. And I don't know, do we start activities next week, or when do we want us to start activities, or 2 weeks time, or we should start activities next week? Okay, all right. So sorry, I just like to balance things on both sides. So our volunteers, I know some of our volunteers, this is their we call this induction ceremony, and some of them are just meeting the team for the first time. I like taking care of emotions. This is not we are not selling anybody cheap to anything or something. It's just to put some things in place. My dad sometimes call me on phone and use Epele Carol, and I'd be like, Daddy, how far now? Yes, these are fathers. I know that some are on the brothers, like I said, Mr. Len was my teacher when I was in school. He was chairperson's teacher when she was in secondary school then, and here he is. I can call him my father. I'm meeting Mr. Olatunji and Mr. Onifade, through Christian. I can call them my father. But Mr. Onifade as a father to me, he will not, make me feel bad because I call him a father. He will treat me like a daughter as well. He will treat me with respect. A daughter, she faces her. He will treat me with respect as well. So we are not selling you cheap, no. We are just saying that relationship is key in life. Christian has brought you together with amazing people. You never know where you will meet tomorrow. Either I am older than a volunteer, or the volunteer is older than me. You don't know the position anybody will be, and you'll be, I don't want to use at their mess, you need their favor. It could even be a word of mouth of recommending people. Like the chairperson was saying something, you may aim for something bigger, and you just need someone's integrity to leverage on. And Mr. Fadi would just say, I know this person. Myself and Mr. Dan were talking about something when we were coming. So some of them just say, I know him. I know. Can't give him. And that will be all. It will settle it all. And it could be anybody. It could be even when you're coming to school, and it's not this our amazing math teachers that you are meeting. It could be the secretary to the principal. It could be even the cleaner. We treat everybody with respect, regardless of who they are. And that's why we're pleading that our volunteers, our teachers, please address them when you get to your place of a primary assignment. You know what your job is when you get there. So you just have to face it. But then address everyone with Mr., Mrs. Good morning, sir. It's not a big deal, okay? It doesn't cost. It doesn't. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma. And our teachers also, please, I'm begging us, when we see those volunteers, Mr. Adami, Mr. Tunde, Mr. Daniel, Miss Ramat, or if they say they are married, call them Miss Ramat. So I think with that relationship, we can build on relationship and things will go on smoothly. And yeah, that is it. I don't know if we have any other addition, contribution, something we want to say, or something you want us to put in place to have a very good structure. Okay, sir.
Good afternoon. Honorable colleagues. The Bible says, I see them. Even though I'll be just calling outside, coming inside, notwithstanding. If we want to change the mindset of our students, it starts from here. The area of mathematics. We want them to show more interest in our subjects. How are we to ourselves? I'm very grateful that Start has brought all of us together this afternoon. If I see some of the faces outside this place, I should be able to recognize them, that these are mathematicians like me. So let us relate well. Let us build a kind of synergy that students will be able to emulate and say, oh, I want to become a mathematician. For this afternoon that we are meeting, we are still going to introduce ourselves. Your name, my name, where I come from, or whatever. So that after seeing ourselves anywhere outside this place, we should be able to embrace each other. Apart from that, I appreciate this start. They are doing well. This is just the beginning. And I pray that it will extend to every other state in Nigeria. This mathematics club is different from Mathematics Association of Nigeria. Okay? Mathematics Association of Nigeria believe is just calling students to come and write exam, say, okay, these are the one that. But this is a club that wants students to understand the language of mathematics from the onset. In fact, I always like students to have the idea of mathematics, engage themselves in solving mathematics instead of taking their phone and start looking for rubbish. Please, when we return back to our school, anytime we are trying to take the students, let us draw them nearer to us. Not for anything, but to change their mind that mathematics is very, very interesting. It's the simplest subject in the whole world. By the time you are carrying them in that way, they will have the mind, say, oh, he said this is very simple. Okay, let me now see how I can be getting it. And this can change their mind. So please, I want to encourage us that this is the beginning. We are meeting for the first time. Perhaps I have been seeing Sister Abby doing the marking center all over. And perhaps I have been coming across some faces, not knowing that they are mathematicians. But today, we can see each other. Please, we are not here to play. Crystal is not bringing us here to play, but to change the mind of our students. They are our tomorrow. We started somewhere before we arrive at this place. We don't even know where we are going. So let us change the mind of the younger one to use their own, even the holistic. Let them use their time throughout the whole day to solve problems in mathematics. Let them know that when they are solving problems in mathematics, at times they may not arrive at a solution. They don't need to come and keep that one aside. They still need to rest their mind, take the problem again, and continue to resolve until they be able to find solution to that problem. This knowledge of mathematics is what they are going to use in their daily activities. That's after coming out of the school. They are going to face one challenge or the other. If they face challenges, how do we resolve? You say, oh, I don't have job, let me keep it aside, and then go and wait. You need to continue searching. If they want to establish, oh, you don't need to keep it up, continue searching until you get one. That is how life is. So we are still going to continue from time to time, encouraging ourselves, as Crystal is trying to do. From time to time, they place this one here, this one here. Okay, Saturday, 4 to 6, to learn more. These are the things that we are trying to encourage. So God will help us, and God will help Crystal as well, and all the teams. God will help you all. We are going to arrive at a reasonable conclusion. Thank you very much.
The last time I was discussing with Mr. Ayola, I was telling him that within our school, we need to identify the good students, very brilliant students among the students in mathematics. When we identify the brilliant students in mathematics,
we can arrange for all those students, let them form cluster, we group them so that we attach a particular student to a set of students. You are in charge of these students. Let's say that is your project. Let's see what will come out of them. So by the time we are doing that, we discover that we are creating more interest for these students in mathematics. I do ask my students in the class, how many of you are interested in mathematics? How many of you are interested in mathematics? How many of you believe that mathematics is very, very simple? Many of them will be wondering, mathematics. Let them realize that on daily basis, we apply mathematics. Even when you wake up, when you are going, when you want to go and back, you have applied mathematics. By the time we let them realize all this, we are creating the interest the more in mathematics for our students. And another thing I want to say is that we arrange the students. We let them realize that mathematics is not difficult. And another thing I want to say is this: we need the assistance of the school to help us. The mathematics teachers, we can have a group. We had a meeting sometimes ago and we create a group for ourselves, mathematics teachers in Bishop Phillips Academy. We know that nobody is not everybody that knows everything. We share ideas. There is a particular topic I know that I'm very, very weak in this topic. I can go to Mr. Marshall. Please, this particular topic, how can we solve this? There was a time I was trying to solve a particular question. I find it difficult getting to the root of that question. I have to go and meet one of the teachers. Let's look at this together. Instead of telling our students that this, and this, we can just tell them that the next contact, we are going to solve this, and it will assist us in it. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. That is just sincerity on the part of teachers and just, there's no end to learning. And then please, I quickly want to chip in this. I know that some of our volunteers are already tutors. I know that some of you are tutors. But then when you go to school, please pay attention to, because when there are some underlying problems that a student is trying to figure in their mind or in their head, and you're trying to teach them something they may not get, you may spot some things. Please, we advise that you report to their teacher so that they can take up and, try to, okay, is it background? What is the issue? Then, just lift up their spirit and make them, be into the system and get what you're trying to give out to them. And I know that God will help us and make all our plans and establish all our plans and give all the strength, to get to the very end. And I pray that we will not all do it in vain. Yeah, God will reward. The rewarder of all men will reward everyone here, your time and your sincerity, everything you're willing to give to preach that. Yes, thank you very much. And
Miss Veronica, quick one. Just for the teachers, there is a program, the G10, for some of you that have been joining, thank you so much. We really appreciate. They are really interested. Before we started joining, it used to be South Africa and Zimbabwean teachers that were joining, but now they are quite interested with the Nigerian thing. So they've been asking me for your feedbacks. I know some of you have given me feedbacks. Please, if you could respond on the group as well, the group chat, about the feedback that you've got for the program, so that they can work on things and all that. There is another one happening this Saturday. It will really be great for us all to join. If there's any teacher here who is not aware of it, let us know. We would add you up to the group. But also know that once you join the Teams meeting, the Zoom meeting, you get reimbursed of your internet. But it's quite interesting. And also it will be good, the things that they teach there sometimes, if you can make use of it in your own teaching, it will really be good. So I thought I should quickly chip that in because Saturday is just around the corner. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know if it's possible for the coordinator of G10 to have a kind of form for the feedback. Some people may be careful to drop the feedback on the group, but if there's a form,
okay,
they can specify that they are from Nigeria and from Christian, then without their name, they can drop their feedback there.
Okay, I would create anonymous sort of form for people to fill.
Okay. Okay. All right. And like she said, the G10 is very, very important. Like she was talking about training, sending our teachers to participate in some South Africa in the training. These are some of the metrics that Christas is going to use to, it's going to be yearly. So we encourage the participation, and data and all will be taken care of. Please, do we have any other business, anything we want to discuss, please? Volunteers, you've not said anything. Do you want to say something? Okay, I think, do we, okay.
I signify my intention in joining the G10 thing. Up to now, I'm not there. So I don't know if we still have some people who are not yet.
Okay. Oh, so thank you, sir. Would try and on the group as well, we'll pass your details to them so that they will add you to the group. It's a really interesting opportunity, really. I can say it might not look like it in the immediate sense, but the lady involved, woman, Tony, she's awesome. Like I've met her one-on-one when I volunteered to help them facilitate the professional course. It's a mathematical professional course. You get certificate for it. You get teaching resources for it. So they ask people in Stellenbosch University. That's what they use for the events annually. And I think one is probably coming up soon. So we really need that engagement. We need to let them see that we're serious. And like I said, for now, they're not funding that journey. We will be the one funding it, and we'll probably be doing it, maybe 1 or 2 teachers at a go. But once they see our seriousness, what we are bringing on the table, they could extend their provisions to us, and we could have many teachers going there or something. And we can also, once they see our seriousness or something, we can also engage the state government here in Nigeria to do something, maybe fund the journey or something. These are things that we could do, actually. So yeah, I'll stop there. I know we've spent so much time. I'm leaving it all to the team now, so we're done now.
If we have teachers who... Yes, sir. So if you have teachers who have not joined, the link will be sent again, the information, and will add us all to the group. And yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So there will be another training this Saturday. Yes. So let us all try to join.
On Zoom on Saturday about 3-4 p.m. ish start, and some hands-on activities. I will check what the curriculum is, and I will share with I think some teachers are already on the group, so they know that. I really want to hear some of our volunteers speak. Can we spotlight them, please?
Volunteers, please, can you start? Volunteers, please introduce yourself. Tell us your name.
But we can round up so that we don't delay our teachers. They need to go back. Miss Veronica, if you are done, but we can talk to volunteers later. Don't be shy.
Introduce yourself.
Don't be shy.
I'm Abdelaziz Kamfal by name. A graduate from the University of Illinois, statistician, and hold a master's program at UCAD. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's nice. Well done.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elisha Elizabeth, an undergraduate of mathematics education, University of Ibadan.
Nice.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kubola Ramat from the University of Ibadan, Faculty of Education.
Good afternoon, sirs and ma'ams. My name is Babatunde Moses, a student of the University of Ibadan, Mathematics Department. Good afternoon. My name is Arul Sadiq Bararika. I'm a graduate of International University of Africa, Mathematics and Computer Science.
Good afternoon. My name is Olashiko Joseph. I graduated from Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Statistics Department.
Good afternoon, sirs and ma'ams. My name is Obisaya Daniel. I'm an undergraduate of the University of Ibadan.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sirs and ma'am. My name is Omoro Waimano Jr. I'm a graduate of Economics and Statistics from the University of Benin.
Good afternoon, sirs and ma'am. My name is Yerashimedini Daniel, a graduate of Mathematics from Obafemi University.
Good afternoon, sirs and ma'ams. I am Adebisi Babatunde, a student of the University of Ibadan, Faculty of Education, Department of Mathematics Education.
Thank you.
So these are volunteers available. We'll be meeting some of them in the future.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mrs. Camille Adeyanju Fatima. I'm from Bishop Phillips.
My name is Akintoye Achijide, Bishop Phillips Academy. I teach mathematics.
My name is Akimbola Samemuyemi, Abadina College Law School. I teach computer science. Here to serve is Onifade Oye from Abadina College here. I hold my MSc in Mathematics from the University of
Mr. Olatunji Adiremi. I'm a math teacher.
I am Oladimeti BA. I take mathematics. Hey, I'm sorry. Abadina College here. I take mathematics. Thank you.
My name is Yusuf Abdulatif from Lower Secondary School, Year 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akiola Abdul. I am an MSc in Mathematics from the University of Ibadan. I'm from Government Secondary School, Street 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mrs. Ahmed Gania from Government Secondary School in Mathematics.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mrs. Adigbe. So from Government Junior 1, I teach mathematics.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alabi A. Mrs. I take mathematics. I'm from Junior School Abadina.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Akisho Harry, Mrs. I'm from Abadina Junior School 1. I take mathematics.
I'm Oladere Elizabeth Morika from Government Senior Secondary School.
I'm Abarado Idris from Government Senior Secondary School, I take mathematics.
I'm Karim Habib, mathematics teacher from Government Secondary School, Utapere.
My name is Orilami Jedila Balaji from Bishop Phillips Academy. I teach mathematics.
My name is Dario Kule Victor. I come from Bishop Phillips Academy. I teach mathematics. My name is Anima Shantosen from Bishop Phillips Senior 1. I teach mathematics.
My name is Arno Yusuf Olatunji, the mathematics from Bishop Phillips Academy.
My name is Aleb Moloyinka Samuel from Bishop Phillips Academy, Senior 1. I teach mathematics.
My name is Mrs. Daremo Diaz from Bishop Phillips Academy.
Mrs. Odubayo K.O. Mathematics, Abadina Senior School.
I'm Mrs. Olatuji Vakastori from Bishop Philip Academy. I teach mathematics.
I am Olabanji Diho. I come from Government Secondary School, Isakure, Junior 1. I teach mathematics.
All right, I think that will be the end of the introduction and the end of the induction ceremony. So on behalf of the chairperson, okay.
Very simple, very, very simple. As we have, we can see some vest. What is it called? This t-shirt that we are packaging for all of. I don't know. We also, yes, we also like to get, yes. You understand? So that you understand, we know.
Sure, we will make provision for that.
All right, we will plan the teacher. No, for the teachers now. The teachers is fine now. We'll make provision. We'll make provision for the teachers. In fact, if we have one big event that will just go there, everyone will just be.
We'll do the teachers one because the one we have currently has the name volunteers, and it is done so that volunteers can wear it. You can know that they are volunteers when they come to schools. But the ones that will be given to teachers, that one is in process, like that we all have generally for being part of Christad Foundation.
And the school? Okay, I think that will be Chairperson, please, do you want to give the closing remark?
Oh no, I leave that up to you. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. If it's safe to say this, can you hear me? Am I audible? If it's safe to say this, I know that the condition currently, the way, in fact, one of the things that I've invested my time to do, like I said, I've intentionally go to schools here in the UK, to secondary schools to teach, to observe what they do here. But it occurs that governments all over the world seems to underestimate the capabilities of teachers. It's not only in Nigeria, though Nigeria might be out of the world extreme, but I tell you that the conditions here as well is not so, it's good, but teachers are not also the most well paid here. And their own idea for that is that being a teacher is a secure job compared to someone who can be in a job and out of a job in a minute. But that's not a justification. But what I'm saying this is that let's not be discouraged, because for someone like me, a lot of teachers have invested in me. Mr. Allen there was my further math teacher. He invested so much in me. The things that I know in calculus started from him. The things that I know that really spurred me up, even up until now. I never knew I was going to study mathematics in the university, but that's a story for another day. Please, let's not be discouraged. Every student that you're encouraging today, please keep doing that. Please keep encouraging the students. Please keep motivating them. Keep putting your effort. Know that there's someone somewhere seeing, even if it doesn't look like it, there's someone somewhere seeing what you're doing, and God himself is the rewarder. He will reward. He will reward all your good works in your own children, your own endeavors, in all that you do. The Lord would reward you. And please just keep making that impact. For me now, I can never forget my teachers. Like, I can never forget my teachers. I remember them, though I haven't gotten to that place that I really wish to get to and, come out to say, oh, this for my teachers. God will take me there. But I can't forget them. I talk about them, and I pray that the Lord will continue to bless them as well. So that's what I wanted to say from my own end. We shall be seeing in the club. Thank you.
We plan to play a little games to engage the teachers, but the time is fast spent. Yeah. And we have, I know some of us want to go back to school. And today is my graduation, actually. I have a graduation to attend. So this will be thank you very much, Sir. So this will be the end of the induction ceremony. Please, after the prayer, all volunteers should wait for their shirts and
the teachers, we are taking pictures.
okay, and we are taking group pictures as well. Yes. It could be inside, it could be
anywhere that is okay.
Okay. Okay, so please can we have a closing prayer? Please want to give us a closing prayer, maybe a Christian. Okay.
Father, we bless you for what you have done. We exalt your name. We exalt your holy name, that you help us so much up to this junction. We say, hallowed be the holy name. Your name be exalted in Jesus' name. We thank you for this free time. We thank you for the program. We thank you for everything that they have put in place. We thank you for how you have helped them and the teacher gathered here today. We thank you for the conclusion and every activities that have been done successfully. Your name be exalted in Jesus' name. Lord, the objective, everything that has been put into your care, Lord, we pray, Father, that you help us through this program to make it succeed in the name of Jesus. Even throughout the whole world in the name of Jesus. All these Christians, remember, a few years to come, that we will just remember that, oh, just 3 years back that we gathered there and we did this, and everything God has taken control, and throughout the whole world, that this will be established in the name of Jesus. And as we are going, Father, we pray that you go with us in Jesus' name. Lord, as we are looking forward, oh Lord, for the good of this children, we pray that our home shall never be left alone in the name of Jesus. And God will take care of us and our own children in the name of Jesus. And we see them in our churches. May your name be exalted. Father, we bless you once again. For in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much. We still need volunteer teachers for the free maths lessons. You can contact us on the group chat to signify. We'll make provision for the teaching material, and you can also let us know the dates you're willing to teach, the class you're willing to teach as well.
All right.